Good morning. Oh my gosh. Day 11. 11 is a powerhouse number in the universe. And yeah, so remember my nanny was describing my nanny was chapter 1, page 11, and I just love. So day 11, welcome. Ah, I am so grateful. I'm a little, I have to admit, I'm a little vulnerable and a little bit unsure about sharing some of this really deep personal stuff, because you know how Doug and I got together in our little town. You know, there was, again, tons of rumors. People made it up. It was like little Hollywood. But I will never forget how awful I felt that day, that she basically called me fat and unattractive. And I was like, oh my God, that is such Mean Girls, you know, that teenage thing. And now when I look and I go, you know what? She was just protecting what was hers. And she too struggled obviously with her own insecurity of whatever. But at the time, so we ended with my dad having heard the whole conversation from his office behind me. And keep in mind that when she walked into my office, she was really angry. And I had no idea. I hadn't done a damn thing. I had no idea that they had some conversation. And yeah, he, later told me, I would show up with lunch at his shop meeting Garnet when Garnet and I were together, and he said, I just remember how you would just light up the room. I looked so forward to you walking in. And he said, when you and Garnet split up, all I could think was it wasn't just Garnet who lost Sandy. What the hell? So yeah, that sort of kicked in the universe and stuff, right? So my dad walks down the hall laughing. He says, that was the stupidest woman on earth. She should not have insulted or challenged my daughter. I wasn't really listening. I honestly wasn't. I was just like, whatever. I was mad. So I phoned Doug and told him that his wife was just here and asked me to stop talking to him for his family's sake. And I said that I would. Doug got instantly angry and told me nobody chooses his friends. Well, I choose mine, I told him, and you and Shelley McKee are not on the list. Have a nice life. It was about 3 days later, Doug walks into my office, somewhat akin to the sort of passive-aggressive thing that Shelley had shown only a few days earlier. Sits down in my office and shares that he didn't want to live without me. Sandy, if I was single, and then he asked me the fateful question. Sandy, if I was single, would you ever consider dating a guy like me? Here's the moral dilemma that I epically maybe failed, and choice that I faced. Should I have told him no and to go away? His wife and family need him? Maybe. But I didn't. Doug McKee was and still is a man among men. Strong, hardworking, outdoorsy, great dad and husband. I thought they had a great marriage and were like the Leave It to Beaver family of Fort Nelson. Shelley seemed like a fairly unhappy soul to me, not exactly outgoing, a stay-at-home mom, which I greatly admire, but not at the price of one's own happiness. I had observed Shelley snap at Doug when he didn't follow exact instructions, like when pouring her a drink, and asked for a small one. When he poured a taller one, she would just, I said, and I was just like, yikes, okay. I would never do that. So I was sure that I could and would treat him better. But I had no idea that our lives would explode and implode when I decided to tell the truth and not take the moral high ground to protect a woman who felt compelled and justified to insult me for being bigger than her. Here's where today, 11 years later, I like to think that I am more mature and strong enough to not allow my feelings to be hurt by the insult and attack on my weaknesses. But even writing this, it still hurts to the center of my being. Why? Does it come down to being born ugly? Oh, wait. Ugly. Will I ever know that I am good enough? Or will I continue to put on my mask of having it all together? Do we all feel insecure sometimes? I think we do, some more than others. Never truly immune. Haters be haters, bullies be bullies, and hurt people hurt people. She hurt me, and holy shit, did I hurt her back. Proud? No. Do I love and cherish the man I stole from her? Hell yes. Shortly after Doug and I got together, while at a counseling session, Linda, honey, our counselor, Linda Gwynn, suggested that Shelley was blaming me for stealing Doug as if he was a bar stool. And I walked into their home, picked him up, and walked out the door. That it was as if he had no thoughts or feelings of his own. She owned him. He was her possession. Please don't ever believe that you own or have exclusive rights to someone just because they married you and you have a family. Instead, rock your relationship and their world so they can't imagine life without you. I hope that when Shelley found out that I got knocked down into bankruptcy, anxiety, and depression, she finally could let go of her blame and anger, and maybe now she can even heal. Honestly. Extraordinary. My relationship with Doug, deeply connected and massively passionate. We sacrificed a lot to be together, and we were made wildly aware of that fact for years to follow. And our 2 divorces of epic nastiness. I do feel like I have a master's degree in what not to do in marriage and divorce. Our kids struggled with the conflict. Oh yeah, our kids did really struggle with the conflict between parents and the nastiness of the 2 divorces. It is so completely unfair what children endure when their parents choose to separate. I've often said that if grades 11 and 12 were in part a nasty divorce and child custody battle, there would be a lot more time and consideration given before marriage and children were ever entered into. Then again, likely not. From the beginning of time, the purpose of life was survival of the species. Even with massive evolvement, we are social creatures, and we as humans do not like to be alone, and we desire leaving a legacy, therefore seeking a partner to mate with. It's in our genes and our hormones. After Garnet blamed me, putting my clients and business before him and our relationship for his choices and my ultimate choice to end our marriage, I vowed that I would put my relationship with Doug before my business or financial success. Besides, I really believed that, dun 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 dun, that, my friend, was day 11. Stay tuned for day 12. We are going to skip Sundays. I hope that you will forgive me, but I got thinking about it after this last Sunday, and I got absolutely under siege of a commitment that was a family commitment that I wasn't able to show up. And I thought, honestly, sustainability is the thing, right? And as much as I love you and I love hanging out with you, I just thought, Sunday mornings are kind of sacred for me. That's, I stay in bed, stay in my jammies, read a book, do, Sunday whatever stuff. And then Sunday afternoons, I very often would walk to my mom and dad's, but then, you know, then I hold back or whatever and hang out, and it's been epic. Please don't think it isn't. But I'm just going to take that Sundays for Sandy and show up Monday to Saturday. So I hope that works okay for you. And I love you so much. Day 12, and I will see you there. Mwah! Bye, friend.